Good day to me and my friends. I'm Wong Shini from Group 9 that I will be talking about the topic of metaphysics. Metaphysics, the word was coined by an access editor of Aristotle's work. In his view, metaphysics explore the most general and abstract principle underlying of all the reality. So metaphysics covers a wide range of topics such as ontology, scientific, naturally, cosmology, and more beyond empirical observations and scientific methodologies, employing rational, particular relations, thought experiments, and conceptual analysis to explore these fundamental questions. Ontology is the main division of metaphysics. It's a study of what is. For example, does God exist? Are the feelings are real? Is it what is nothing and does it existed? So the borders here is a little bit fuzzy, but we have at least two parts to the overall philosophical projects of ontology. On our preliminary understanding of it, first saying what there is, what exists, what stuff is real, reality is made out of. Secondly, say what is the most general features and relations of this image are. So for instance, the ontology arguments of God. Some people they believe in God's ghost, but some people they don't believe in the existence of God and ghosts. Yet it is the mental drive where some people believe is because the God existed in their understanding. So this is the explanation and the concept of ontology. Beside phenomenology is the one of the branches under metaphysics. Phenomenology is the study of phenomena, appearance of things or things that appear in our experience, or the way we experience things, thought, the meaning things have in our experience. Regarding with the Guidi and Rustage in 2020, Bijou is one of the examples of phenomenology and naturalism. According to Matt Phillips 2022, it is a depth feelings that strongly feels that we have been here before or we have experienced a certain thing at the same point. According to In Science State 2022,
cosmology is also one of the main divisions of metaphysics. Cosmology aims to comprehend the origins, development, structure, ultimate destiny of the universe and nature law that keep it in order. It explores fundamental questions about the nature of reality, the existence of the universe, and the relationship between the physical world and metaphysics concept. Metaphysics cosmology dive into physical implications and broader metaphysical concepts associated with the universe, exploring ideas such as causality, determinism, teleology, and the nature of consciousness within the cosmic framework. For example, we can never have direct evidence of the Big Bang itself, so if we are to accept it, it must be as a metaphysical, not a scientific hypothesis. Other than that, the word ecology comes from the Greek word oikos, which means the house or household, and the Greek word of logos, which means size. In metaphysics, ecology refers to the study of the relationship between living beings and their environment. It is a philosophical ecology in which we have passed from the concrete scientific conception of ecology in the narrow sense to abstract philosophical conception of ecology in a philosophical sense. It involves examining the interconnectedness and interdependence of organisms with their surroundings and exploring the fundamental nature of ecological systems. Metaphysical ecology encompasses broader philosophical inquiries related to the environment, such as the ethical considerations of human interactions with nature, the intrinsic value of non-human entities, and the concept of a holistic interconnectedness of all things.
Moving on to the first point of second topic, conspiracy theories and misinformation fuel anti-vaxxers' belief, with the internet playing a significant role in spreading these views. Misinformation deceives others by spreading inaccurate information, undermining proven facts. For example, during the swine flu pandemic in 2009, the absence of physical evidence and patient isolation create ignorance about COVID-19 daily effect, allowing anti-vaxxers to question its existence. Misinformation about alternative remedies like garlic or alcohol gargling also contribute to anti-vaxxer sentiments, resulting in illness and death. Conspiracy theories suggesting government or corporate profit scheme and bioweapon worsen the situations. Another factor in vaccine hesitancy is limited understanding. Many people lack knowledge about vaccination mechanism, leading them to question the necessity and safety of vaccines. Concern raised by anti-vaccinationism about vaccine ingredients and potential side effects such as smell and taste disorder are based on limited understanding. They argue that COVID-19 vaccine can cause vasoconstriction, resulting in respiratory distress, symptom and diseases with long-term health risks. However, Scientific evidence linking the vaccine to this condition is lacking. Nonetheless, the dissemination of fear and misinformation by non-expertise has fueled public anxiety. Concern about vaccine ingredients arise from a lack of understanding about how vaccines work, often fueled by misinformation.
Moving on to the third point of the second topic, which is rare side effects. Anti-vaxxers fear the side effects of the vaccine as this group of people are unwilling to risk the small percentage of potential effects that comes along with the vaccine. Moreover, as communication becomes easier due to globalization, over-exaggerated and false information spreads easily and induces fear in the public, leading to the increase of anti-vaxxers. For example, a low-quality research failed to prove the link between ASD, which is autism spectrum disorder, and children's vaccines. However, the debate for this study has garnered a large amount of attention, which leads to the lasting fear as found by Falgum in 2016. The flawed study discusses that ASD is believed to disrupt the development of children despite the antigens boosting the children's immune systems. Moving on to the last point, which is cultural factors, as it plays a role in the group's stance on certain vaccinations. Historical and cultural beliefs may cause skepticism against vaccines. For example, the MMR vaccine, which tackles measles, mumps, and rubella diseases, as per the name, was denied by Hindus, Protestants, Orthodox Jews, and many other communities as well. This was because it uses cells derived from aborted fetal tissues, and the communities were morally against abortion in their religious teachings and beliefs. Moreover, certain groups, such as the Dutch Protestant Christian Congregation, believes that vaccines are against God's will, and using the vaccines is against one predetermined fate. The example shows that the reason why certain cultural beliefs or certain cultural groups refuses vaccines as a whole, creating anti-vaxxers.
Hi, my name is Quail Yin. I will be proceeding to the 3.0, which is the decolonization. Decolonization is a process by which colonized country or regions gain political freedom and break away from the control and impact of colonial power that used to rule over them. It is a big event in history that happened mostly in the 20th century. After ages of European colonial growth and rule over the rest of the world, decolonization had huge effect on politics, society, and culture. It changed the way the world works, changed the border between countries, and shook up the way power is used. But the effects on colonialism are still felt in many post-colonial countries as they deal with problems like economic growth, political security, and social justice, and keeping their cultural identities.
Now I will move on to the negative effects. First is anthropocentricism. Humans are the most important thing in the cosmos, and anthropocentrism priorities human interest and well-being. Critics say anthropocentrism exploits animal, ecosystem, and the environment. It has harmed the ecosystem biodiversity and ecological equilibrium. Next, I will move on to egoism. People should behave in their own self-interest to enhance their well-being. Self-interest may drive personal progress and accomplishment, but too much of it can lead to a lack of care for others. It can weaken cooperation, emphasize and social cohesive and proposal inequity. Now I will move on to Eurocentrism. European or Western viewpoint attitudes and experience are the norm of standard against which other cultures and civilization are measured. Eurocentrism critically says maintain a cultural imperialism, marginalizes non-Western knowledge systems, and reforms power inequality between area and people. It can erase or devalue various culture, histories, and contributions. Last is rationalism. Naturalism promotes reasons can logic in learning and decision making. Critical thinking and problem solving require logic, and relying too much on reason might be disregard experience and attitudes, and also cultural knowledge. It can ignore human emotion, subjective experience, and also cultural variety, resulting in a limited worldview.
I'm Lao Xingyue, and now I'll present about the human concept specifically on Islam and Buddhism studies. Firstly, on Islam. The religion of Islam is predicated on the ideas of monotheism as well as the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad that were revealed in the Quran. The doctrine of Tawhid, which claims that there is only one God, is considered to be one of the most essential beliefs in Islam. Muslims have a strong belief in the oneness and equality of all people, regardless of their ethnicity or their socio-economic standing. The teachings of Islam place a strong emphasis on justice, compassion, and respect for one another, to stand against exploitation, fight for the rights of the impoverished, and work towards a more just society. And moving on to the Buddhism studies, Siddhartha Gautama, popularly known as the Buddha, is considered to be the founder of the Buddhist spiritual tradition. The Tripitaka, often known as the Pali Canon, is the name of the main scriptures of Buddhism. The Vinaya Pitaka, the Sutta Pitaka, and the Abhidhamma Pitaka are the three divisions of the three Pitaka. The Four Noble Truths are central to the Buddhist doctrine because they explain both the origin of human suffering and the way to achieve freedom from it. The individuals are taught to let go of wants and attachments that lead to suffering, which is also known as the notion of non-attachment in Buddhism. And that's all for my part. My partner will be presenting about Hinduism and Christianity. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kwan Siu Yi, and I'm going to continue the point of human concept. Next, I'm going to talk about Hinduism. The religious tradition known as Hinduism is very complicated and varied, both in terms of its belief and its practices. The idea of Dharma, which refers to one moral and ethical responsibility, plays an essential role in Hinduism. The religious philosophy known as Hinduism believes that there is more than one way to achieve the state of enlightenment known as moksha, and that each of these ways deserve to be recognized. The religion of Hinduism places a strong emphasis on rebirth and the concept that all living things are interrelated. Hinduism urges people to maintain their cultural heritage, promote social justice, and fight the imposition of cultural hegemony as a means of combating colonization and dominating ideas. In Hinduism, the goal is to live in peace with nature, to observe ahisma, which means non-violence, and to acquire spiritual consciousness via the performance of rituals, meditation, and introspection. Next, I'm going to talk about Christianity. Christianity is a religion of one God that is based on the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. Christians think that Jesus was God and that he came to the earth to save people from their sins. The Christian religion is based on the 10 Commandments, which are a set of rules for people who follow Christ. The Christian religion put a lot of importance on a number of ideas, such as love, forgiveness, and the idea that everyone is important because God made them. As a way to challenge colonial and other dominance views, Christians are told to fight back against unfairness, oppression, and bias. Christians have to fight for social equality, show kindness, and care for everyone, and criticize symptoms that keep people from getting what they deserve. Christianity teaches that society should be fair, include everyone, and be based on love and respect for each and another.